Welcome to Groups this week. As a church, we exist to help all people become fully devoted followers of Jesus. And we believe doing life together is a crucial part of that journey. Now, during this time, we're going to unpack and dig deeper into the sermon we've heard this past week. Let's dive in as we continue to grow in our faith, knowledge, and love of Jesus together.
All right. Well, hello everybody. Hope
Hey,
you're having
everyone.
a good gathering with your community group today. Sam, we've been kind of stepping into Jesus' story, and I mean we're on a long journey. We're just
Yes.
at the beginning,
Yeah.
but we've covered so much content already. A few weeks ago, Jesus is in Nazareth, and he's kind of proclaimed. I called it his inaugural speech.
Yeah.
About bringing
Quoting
freedom
Isaiah,
freedom for the captives and
Healing,
healing.
sight to the blind.
Exactly. And then we see last week, he puts it into action. Like
Yeah.
so many of these people probably heard proclamations like that or boasts like that.
Yeah.
And many of them had been let down before, other
Messianic
so-called
pretenders,
messiahs, right?
yeah.
And we actually know that even close to Nazareth, something like that had happened about 30 years prior to that. So people maybe were a little, okay, we'll see if this pans out. And then Jesus shows his authority by healing those who are sick, by
Casting out demons.
exorcising demons, by telling the flu to take off from Peter's
Speaking to the
mother,
fever.
speaking to the fever, and then we see this episode this week where Jesus approaches Peter and his friends who are fishing,
Yeah.
and he makes a pretty strong demand of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But he starts out with he starts out with a way of kind of gathering them in first by saying, "Hey, I can do this. Imagine what else I can do," kind of thing. So what happens in this story?
Yeah. So Jesus is again preaching, but he's not doing it in a synagogue, like in a church setting. He's doing it kind of by the water, Sea of Galilee, which I've been to before. You have as well.
I have,
right?
yeah,
In Israel, gone
Yeah.
to be at that. Sea is a generous term for the Sea of Galilee. More of a lake.
Misnamed. It's a lake. Yeah.
But Jesus is preaching there. The crowd is pressing in, and so Jesus sees some fishing boats and some fishermen on the side. He hops into Simon Peter's boat. He says, "Hey, can you row me out and just a little ways, and I'll preach from there," which is smart. Jesus is kind of using the water as a microphone to speak to the people. And so he preaches his message, and then he breaks into a sermon illustration. He tells Simon Peter to row out a little bit further. And then he tells him, and these guys have been fishing all night. You see that in the text. They've
Yeah.
spent the entire, and these are professional fishermen.
Yeah. Aren't you a carpenter?
Yeah.
What are you?
Carpenter turned
You
rabbi.
grew up inland. You grew in the hills in
Right.
Nazareth.
Oh,
You
right.
grew
That's a
up
good
here.
point. And Jesus tells them how to fish. He tells them to cast their nets into the other side.
Yeah.
You can kind of just hear the tone in the response from Peter.
Yeah.
What did you say? It was kind of like a mechanic, like Jesus saying, just shut the lid.
Oh yeah. Like if you approached a mechanic and said, just close it and open it. I'm sure everything will be fine after that. No.
Plug the cable in, take it out, plug
Yeah.
it in. It'll all be good. And so Peter just kind of responds with like, "We've been at this all night,
Yeah.
but because you say so,
Mhm.
we'll put down our nets." And I actually think that line is very significant.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's this radical obedience to Jesus,
Yeah.
even when it doesn't make sense,
Right.
because it wouldn't have made any sense.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, the other his friends, the other fishermen, maybe had heard about Jesus. Don't know whether they'd witnessed anything yet, but Peter had. He'd already witnessed something.
Right. What had you witnessed?
He witnessed his mother-in-law being
That's right.
healed.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
So he's got some information
Yeah,
there even
yeah.
prior to this miracle. So because you're saying it, but I'm just imagining, like you're saying, these guys scrubbing their nets. They're defeated. They
Yeah.
spent the whole night. They're
Exhausted.
probably going, "Can't wait till I'm done this. Then I can go sleep, and then we'll get back to it." And then Jesus is having a great fishing day. Everybody's following him.
Yeah,
He's-
yeah.
He's like on top of his game, and they're at the worst of it, and he just
Wow.
hops into the boat and starts preaching. Yeah.
And they catch a huge catch.
Yeah.
One scholar that I was looking at said that to sink 2 fishing boats, that would be like the equivalent of 10 years worth of a regular fishing salary.
Wow. Okay.
So this is a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
of fish
Yeah,
that they've
so the
caught.
nets are almost breaking. They get help from the other boat, and then almost both the boats almost go down.
And then and then there's a response from Peter. Like
Mhm.
I would expect Peter at that moment to be like, "Okay, can we meet here again next week? Like,
Exactly.
let's do this again. This is my new
We are-
business strategy."
Exactly. Just come back tomorrow. We'll just keep doing it. And if you want to cut, Jesus, I have no problem giving
Yeah.
you some of the money. But
50,
come back.
whatever.
This is the best business we've ever had.
But
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
how does Peter respond?
Oh, well, it's actually this fascinating thing where he falls at Jesus' knees and says, "Get away from me," basically. I'm a sinner,
Yeah.
right?
It's almost an
There's this-
oxymoron.
yeah, it's a really fascinating thing where he wants to be drawn closer to Jesus, but he also recognizes the holiness of Jesus. I mean, that's the response we see all throughout Scripture, right? Isaiah,
Woe is me.
yeah, in Isaiah 6, Ezekiel chapter 1,
Yeah.
he sees this vision of God. John
In
in
Revelation.
Revelation chapter 1, 17, and he falls. He doesn't. I don't think he verbalized, but he falls down as if dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, here's one thing there, and I want to hear your thoughts on what's going on with that response of like getting close and pulling away. But I think one easy takeaway is like the presence of God is no casual thing.
Yeah.
Like I think sometimes we think about being in the presence of God as like goosebumps that we feel when John Hawes jumps up an octave in our favorite worship song or something. It's like
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
there is-
no one goes on about their business. No one
That's
goes
right.
on about their business when they encounter.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
It's no casual thing. It's this recognition in the holiness and the presence of God. Like, woe is me, I'm not
Yeah.
worthy, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and then Jesus responds to that humility and that contrite heart.
Yeah. And he says, drop it. Drop it all.
Yeah.
You think this was great, but I'm going to make you fishers of men. And you've looked at this as well. It's not just fishers of men, it's fishers of live men.
Yeah.
So you used to do that, a finite job that was circular. You would catch fish, they'd be dead, you'd sell them, people would consume them, you get back and you do it again. I'm going to give you something of far greater significance
Wow.
than this.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so beautiful.
So they have this whole thing of fish that they've just caught, and they allegedly leave it all, right?
I never even thought about that. Is everyone just hoarding around, grabbing fish out?
Probably.
Maybe.
Probably something like that. But
Yeah.
they leave it all. I actually love that this moment is repeated again later on in their life. So Jesus, they spend 3 years together, involved in Jesus' ministry. Jesus dies, rises again. And then he meets Peter again, also at the Sea of Galilee.
Yeah, yeah.
And this whole thing happens another time.
Well, yeah, and it's almost a bookend, isn't it? Because Peter's called. He totally recognizes he's unworthy to be a part of whatever Jesus is about to do, and he proves that fact, right? He calls Jesus to kind of deny his calling, the way God has called him to be the Messiah. He pulls out a blade when he's not supposed to.
Yeah.
That was Peter, right?
Yeah.
It's Peter. Check with your pastor.
Was
He denies him 3 times. Right?
Yeah.
And then there's this opportunity again, almost like a book of, hey, remember when I called you?
Yeah.
It's this opportunity.
Even
again.
despite all of his failures.
Exactly.
Right? It's
Yeah.
like, hey, I haven't changed my call in your life.
I wasn't calling,
You're
yeah.
Still, yeah.
In spite of all of that, you are still a part of this mission.
And I think that's a word for
too.
all of us
Absolutely.
too, right? Is
Yeah.
we are not going to do this perfectly.
No,
You know?
no.
And yet Jesus calls us despite
Yeah.
in spite of our
And he continues to, and he always will.
Yeah.
He's always welcoming us back. And in spite of our failures, we're welcomed into his beautiful narrative rather than just our small story that we think defines us.
So
right?
good.
Right. That's plenty, I think.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great conversation.
God bless you guys.
Hope you enjoyed the teaching today. If you're wanting to follow along with the community group's discussion guide with your group, you can head to cachurch.ca/media, where you can find the discussion guide. Not only are there questions there related to the sermon, but there's also prayer prompts that relate to the passage or the topic that we were talking about, and practices that you can, on an individual level or a group level, begin integrating into your life to not only bring the knowledge into your mind, but to begin living it